Soil degradation and conservation. Soil degradation has many causes. Erosion can degrade ecosystems in agriculture. Productive cropland is being lost at a rate of 5 to 7 million hectares or 12 to 17 million acres per year. Poor agricultural practices reduce soil's ability to support life. The degradation of soil results from forest removal, cropland agriculture, and overgrazing by livestock. Over the past 50 years, soil degradation has reduced global crop production by 13%. There are a variety of problems affecting soil productivity, and those include erosion, desertification, salinization, waterlogging, nutrient depletion, structural breakdown, and pollution. Erosion carries soil away. Erosion is the removal of material from one place and its transport to another by the action of wind or water. Deposition is the arrival of eroded material at its new location. Erosion becomes a local problem because it always occurs faster than soil formation, as well as removing topsoil. Plant communities protect soil from wind and water erosion. These include wind erosion and 4 types of water erosion: splash, sheet, rill, and gully. Flowing water deposits sediment in river valleys and deltas, and these floodplains are excellent for farming. Erosion removes topsoil, the most valuable soil layer. Erosion occurs faster than new soil is formed. It increases through excessive tilling, overgrazing, and clearing forests. Plant communities protect soil from erosion. Erosion and desertification are also global problems. In a 2004 study, Wilkerson compared prehistoric and modern erosion rates and found that human activities move over 10 times more soil than all other natural processes combined. So humans are the primary cause of erosion, and it occurs at unnaturally high rates. More than 47 billion acres of the world's croplands suffer from erosion and other soil degradation. In Africa, erosion over the next 40 years could reduce crop yields by half. Coupled with rapid population growth, some observers describe the future of agriculture as a crisis situation. Desertification is a loss of more than 10% of soil productivity. Arid land may lose productivity by this process of desertification, and it's due to soil erosion, soil compaction, forest removal, overgrazing, drought, salinization, climate change, and depletion of water resources, or an array of other processes. The most prone areas are going to be the arid lands. The Dust Bowl inspired soil conservation measures in the U.S. Semi-arid lands such as the Great Plains of North America have low annual precipitation and are subject to periodic drought. The soils of semi-arid lands are often of high quality, owing largely to accumulation of over many centuries of a thick, rich humus. These lands are excellent for grazing and for growing of crops on a small scale. Problems arise when large areas are cleared for crops or when animals overgraze the land. The large-scale cultivation of the southern Great Plains of the U.S. combined with a drought in the 1930s led to dust storms, destroying the land and affecting human health in the Dust Bowl. Prior to the cultivation of that land, deeply rooted native prairie grasses held the soil in place. The Dust Bowl caused thousands of farmers to leave their land and they had to rely on government help. In response to the Dust Bowl, Congress established the Soil Conservation Service, today known as the Natural Resources Conservation Service, in 1935, which pioneered measures to slow soil degradation and promoted soil conservation practices. The Soil Conservation Service works with farmers to develop conservation plans for farms. Farmers can conserve soil in various ways by protecting the soil, right? Through crop rotation and contour farming. Crop rotation is the practice of alternating the kind of crop grown in a particular field from one season or year to the next. It minimizes erosion and minimizes pest damage. Contour farming consists of plowing furrows along the natural contours of the land, perpendicular to its slope of the hillside, and it prevents gullies from washing away soil. Terracing is a process of cutting level platforms into hillsides, and it's used extensively on extremely steep terrain. Kind of creates a staircase to contain the water. Intercropping is the process of planting different types of crops in alternating bands or other spatially mixed arrangements. It increases the ground cover. Shelter belts are rows of trees that are planted along the edges of fields to break the wind. And no-till farming is where you have where furrows are cut in the soil and a seed is dropped in, and then the furrow is closed, but plowing is bypassed. So you don't plow the land and you don't lose as much soil that way. There are pros and cons of no-till farming, and almost half of U.S. farmland now uses no-till. The benefits are reduced soil erosion, greater crop yields, and enhanced soils. The negatives are increased use of herbicides and fertilizers. But green manure dead plants used as fertilizers and rotating crops minimize these negatives. Irrigation boosts productivity but can cause soil problems too. Crops that require a great deal of water can be grown with irrigation, artificial provision of water. Waterlogging happens when soil becomes too saturated with water, damaging the soil and suffocating plant roots. An even more frequent problem is salinization, which is the buildup of salts in the surface soil layers. And this is again worse in arid areas. Salinization inhibits production of 20% of all irrigated cropland, causing more than $11 billion per year. Salinization is easier to prevent than to correct. So it's easier and cheaper to prevent salinization than to fix it. First, do not plant water-guzzling crops in sensitive areas. Try to irrigate with low salt water. Irrigate efficiently, supplying only water that the crop requires. And processes like drip irrigation, where you target the water directly to the plants in small amounts, is a great process to prevent salinization or procedure. Fertilizers boost crop yields but can be overapplied. A fertilizer is a substance that contains natural or essential nutrients. Nutrient depletion creates a need for fertilizers containing those nutrients. Inorganic fertilizers are mined or synthetically manufactured mineral supplements, whereas organic fertilizers consist of natural materials: manure, crop residues, fresh vegetation, compost. While fertilizer use has increased crop yields, overuse is causing increasingly severe pollution problems through runoff, um, which causes eutrophication in nearby water systems, and nitrates building up in the soil and leaching through and contaminating the groundwater, making it unsafe to drink. Overgrazing can also degrade the soil. Overgrazing is when you have too many animals on an area of land, so the land can't keep up. So too much livestock on a range results in overgrazing. When too many animals eat too much plant cover, they impede the plant growth and replacement of biomass. Overgrazing can result in increased erosion, invasion of non-native plants, and compacted soil. Some policies to promote soil conservation. Every 5 to 6 years, Congress passes a farm bill. Many provisions require farmers to adopt soil conservation plans before getting the subsidies. These, the Conservation Reserve Program, which was passed in 1985, pays farmers to remove highly erodible land from cultivation. Each dollar invested saves 1 ton of topsoil, generates an income for farmers, improves water quality, and provides habitat for wildlife. With current higher food prices, many farmers are now starting to plant more acres. So the future of the Conservation Reserve Program will be interesting. Well, that's it for this lesson on soil degradation and erosion. Thanks for listening.